Hello, I'm Pamela Davis. Welcome to episode 185 of the Well Done Life podcast. Hello, and welcome back to episode 185 of the Well Done Life podcast. I'm your host, Pamela Davis. If you are new here, hey, how are you? Welcome. I hope you will stay for a very long time. And of course, I send you the best of wishes and say thank you for coming across my little podcast and deciding to check us out. And of course, if you've been here before, you guys know the deal. I love you deep. Thank you so much for your continued support of me. I wouldn't be at this point in the journey without you. And I'm so grateful for this community that we are building, that we have built. It means the world to me and then some. So thank you again for continuing to rock with me. Before we get started, I like to be really foundational. If you've been here before and you've listened before, you guys probably know, oh my God, she's like a little broken record, but I am, because it is really important to me that before we kind of dive into new things, we have to set the foundation of why we're here. We got to talk about what this is about so you understand why the Well Done Life is what it is. And so as I'm building the foundation, I believe that this is like a house, a safe space that we are creating. So it's very important for me that this foundation be built on two very important things. And that is always going to be clarity and love. Clarity, really straightforward. I just want to make sure you understand that the Well Done Life brand is about women. It's about creating space for women to be our most authentic self. This is the place where you can be you. I don't care if we laugh. I don't care if we cry. We can shout. We can scream. We can do it all because I want to see you win. I think that women are the foundation of society. And I think we need to have more conversations about who we are and the things that we have gone through or the things that we are working through so that we can be inspired by each other, so that we can support each other, so that we can connect and build. So that is why you are here, hopefully to connect and build. And I hope that by me sharing my journey, because, I'm not going to pretend I'm not an expert at this thing called life. I'm doing it the best that I possibly can, that hopefully you see, you know what, if she can make it, I can make it. And I hope you're inspired. I hope you realize that you got it. You got it. All you needed was somebody to tell you that you got it. And I'm here to do that. And so is every woman that I spotlight here. We are all here to show that it can be done. And so we need you. And we hope that you will share your story and inspire other women too. And then that, of course, leads me to my second tenet, my favorite tenet, actually, because I'm a sucker for love. I believe in love, and love is the thing. So I always like to make sure that I'm sending you love every week. And I really believe that through the power of prayer that I can show you how much I love you. And so it is very important that we come together and pray. And I truly believe that I'm not the only one out here sending good, positive energy and prayers into the atmosphere. So I hope that you are praying with me as I am praying with you. And we are magnifying our prayers and creating something beautiful. So this week, I like to make sure that I am sending you prayers of peace. It is always very important to me. Like, peace is like the number one thing, especially now. I mean, my goodness, we are in the second quarter of the year. The first quarter has gone by like a blink, and it has been crazy, as we are all out here trying to move through life and just get through things. It's moving quick. So I want you to make sure that you are taking time for yourself, that you are sitting in stillness, hon. I cannot say that enough. Regulating your body and your mind is essential as you are out here trying to do all the things. So give yourself space to do all the things and protect your peace. Don't allow yourself to be in situations with people or places that just don't align with where you are right now in your life. You got to understand that, your journey is individual for you, and not everybody's going to be able to go along on the journey with you. Not every place you can frequent anymore. You got to protect your energy, and there's nothing wrong with that. Prioritize you, because we need you. Your family needs you. You don't have any idea how many people are inspired by you every day with just whatever you do. So don't take that for granted. Don't take what you have accomplished for granted. Don't take who you are for granted. Give yourself the peace that you need so that you can continue to move forward and live your best life, because this is your time, baby. It doesn't get any better than this. You don't need to wait. You need to recognize this is your season. go get it, grab for it, and reach for it. And along that line with peace, I definitely want to make sure that you have the ability to have clarity, because clarity is essential. And in peace is where you do find clarity, because you need to be able to see things for what they are, and not so that you can be hurt, not so that you can be frustrated, not so that you can cut people off and all these things. I don't worry about all that. Like I told you, people naturally show you the place that they need to be in your life, and it is up to you to decide to leave them there. I mean, really straightforward. And I am learning that lesson again and again, constantly myself. So believe me, you're not alone. It's just sometimes we have to let people be who they're supposed to be. And even sometimes that's a matter for even for us. Maybe, our seasons with people have come to an end, and we need to recognize that. And it's okay that sometimes people move away from us, because not everybody is meant to be along on the journey with you. And that's all right. It doesn't make them bad people. It just may mean that your connection, your time together is over, and you have to move forward. Don't hold on to things, to people, because you're trying to feel like you need to have like 500 people around you in order to move forward. Be clear about that. See things for as they are in people and in situations, so that you can move accordingly. This is your time to travel light. God will equip you with what you need. Trust that and believe that in yourself. And then this week, I'm going to stop my prayer there. I know that probably sounds a little crazy, but we're going to get a little bit deeper, because my other prayer that I have for you is actually a bigger conversation. And it is something that is just kind of been weighing in my spirit this week. And I want to talk to you about it, but I'm going to wrap up this prayer, obviously, with two more. I'm going to give you love, because obviously I'm always going to send you love. I want you to be surrounded in love from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, because you need love. We all need love. And I hope that you are getting it and giving it, because reciprocal love is a beautiful thing. And then, of course, I'm always going to send you prayers of abundance. I know, the streets is tight. Inflation's running wild. So I'm obviously thinking for you to have financial abundance, because I know that when you are financially abundant, you will be a gift to other people. But at the same time, I want you to be abundant in your spirit. We're out here hustling. We're out here doing all the things. Make sure that you are doing things that are going to feed your soul, because there is not enough money in the world to feed your soul. You can feed yourself with material things, but you got to feed your soul. Do the things that give you peace and joy and happiness at all times. So those are my prayers for you this week. I am recording on Tuesday, April the 9th, and it is approximately 8:56 p.m. And it has been a crazy week. I'm very blessed, though. Yesterday was my mom's birthday, so shout out to Bunny. And she would kill me for actually calling her Bunny, because she doesn't like when I do that. But I love her. She's my girl. My mom turned 77 yesterday. And for the first time in a while, I didn't post it, just because it was just so cute and beautiful for us as a family. But that's my babes, my Bunny, my mama. I'm so proud that she is 77, and just to be able to have her here and savor her, and to have her get on my nerves the way that she does, is a gift and a blessing all in itself. So I just had to take a moment to acknowledge how much I'm blessed by that. And then, like I said, it's just kind of been like a crazy week, so much with work and life and just so many things. But I'm here, and I'm really grateful to be here, because, like I said, I have something in my spirit that I want to talk to you about. I want to thank everyone for their grace and mercy while I was out last week, because last week I was traveling for work, and it was craziness, and I was exhausted. And I don't come to you guys kind of half-heartedly. It just doesn't work for me that way. So I know you guys have been listening to episode 184, the first quarter recap, for quite a bit. So I appreciate the support and acknowledgement of the episode. I hope you gleaned some points to help you recognize how far you've come in your first quarter. But like I said, I'm here this week, and I have something in my spirit I want to talk to you guys about. I want to talk to you guys about uncommon favor. I know that right now, and let me preface this, I am not probably a big women's college basketball person. Like, I like basketball, but I grew up like watching like NBA, and of course I support women's basketball. I watch it occasionally, but I think between with work and everything, I really didn't get a chance to watch too many of the games. But obviously I really am so inspired and encouraged by Dawn Staley and her story of being able to craft a, I mean, be able to coach, excuse me, a season, a complete winning season. Like she was in a winning season, undefeated. Then for her team to win the championship, for her to be so grateful, gracious, and amazing. And one of the things that I was really inspired by was how there has been such a conversation around something she said in regards to uncommon favor. And when I heard it, and I've kind of read a couple of articles about it, it kind of stuck in my spirit. Because if I thought about it and how I'm thinking about it is that many of us are in a season of uncommon favor, and we're not giving it the credit and acknowledgement that it needs. And let me say that again. Many of us are in a season of uncommon favor, and we are not giving it the credit or emphasis that it needs and that it deserves, actually. And so I wanted to talk about it because it struck me in my soul, because it made me realize that, you know what, I'm in a season of uncommon favor. I've been in a season of uncommon favor for a minute, but this year has really revealed it even more so to me. And so I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit about my experience, talk about what uncommon favor is, and then kind of ask you to take a look at where you are in your life right now and ask yourself rhetorically, are you in a season of uncommon favor? And if you are in a season of uncommon favor and you discover it and you recognize it, what are you doing to continue to cultivate that energy within you? You know, how are you protecting it? Because you have to protect it. I realize it's a mindset shift. It is. And if I think about it, how Staley is, she had a mindset shift. Like she wasn't worried about haters. She wasn't worried about any of the outside negative noise. She knew exactly who she was. She was steadfast in what she was going to accomplish. She knew that God had given her the gift, that God had put the favor on her life. And she was purposely focused on the end goal. And for a lot of us, you know, we're in this world where we're so distracted, and we are in a season of uncommon favor, but we are focused on things that are not going to continue to keep us aligned to uncommon favor if we're not careful, because distractions are going to come in. There's always going to be somebody who's going to say something, do something, something's going to happen. But how are you protecting yourself in this season to keep your mind focused on your uncommon favor? So before we kind of dive a little bit deeper, let me just kind of say, I did, like I said, a little research because, you know, uncommon favor, I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to make sure that I came to you correct. So the definition of uncommon favor is special attention from God that can make what man considers impossible possible. And so, like, this is a season, like I said, where things are just coming to you, where this is your season where you don't have to really press, you know, unnaturally. It is aligned for you. It is uncommon. It is your season of favor. And many of us walk in a season of favor, and we acknowledge it and talk about it in some extent. But even that, I think, sometimes is one of those things that, you know, we don't really kind of all lean into. We don't recognize that sometimes even the smallest things that come to us are acts of favor. And when I say that small things, I mean small things. It could be a matter of getting the best parking spot outside of your favorite store. I'm serious, something that small. It could be as small as being able to be blessed with a discount or someone to buy you coffee when you're in the Starbucks line. That's favor. And so, you know, sometimes we take a little bit of that for granted. We don't recognize that those are moments where God is showing us the favor that he has on our lives. And when we're in a season of uncommon favor, I mean, we have to recognize that, you know, it is just truly something that is rare, that is above the ordinary, that's exceptional, that's remarkable. And so when we have those moments of uncommon favor, those things that are coming over into our lives, we sometimes we got to take a moment to be in a season where we recognize it. Because a lot of times, and I know myself, I've been inclusive in this kind of conversation that I'm having, or I'm about to say and have with you, is I have been in seasons of favor, if I think about it, where I was just so focused on I was so focused on accomplishing a goal that I didn't recognize that it wasn't all my act. It was God. And I know that, a lot of times we don't want to admit it, but I'm going to admit it. I'm not going to pretend. When I was younger, I was focused on hustling. I was thinking all the hustle, all the energy that I was putting out was just paying back. And, this is my season. This is my blessing for the work that I'm giving, not giving the proper credit and reverence due to the Most High, to God, because that is who gave it to me. And we've all been in that path. Whether or not we want to admit it is a totally different thing. But like I said, I'm not afraid to admit it, because I know where I was and where I am right now. And like I said, where I was, I put a lot of emphasis in, oh, I'm working hard, I'm doing this, and this is why things are coming to pass, because, faith without works is dead. But at the same time, you have to recognize that energy, that passion, that creativity, those giftings, all the things that you are putting out right now that is creating that season of favor for you, that's God. Because God gave you the energy to keep going when you feel tired. God gave you the vision to be creative when you didn't feel like being creative. God gave you that push to get that extra step of hustle inside of you. So you have to be willing to recognize that that's favor. That's uncommon favor. That's God's favor over your life. But when it's uncommon, it is an elevation, and it is an elevation of favor, because like I said, we all experience favor in little ways every day. Even though we probably take it for granted, we still get those favors. But when it's uncommon, it's one of those moments in time where it just supersedes your understanding. And I don't know about you guys, but I have had moments in my life where the favor just supersedes my level of understanding. Like, it literally is God did it. I can't say anything else but God did it. And God makes it so uncommon, so unbelievable, so amazing that there is no other person that can get credit for that. And so you have to be able to sit in those seasons and recognize that that is uncommon favor. And so, like I said, I've experienced uncommon favor before. When I had it happen to me, it really was in a season where, I was putting in efforts, and I've been transparent about it. When I bought my home, that actually was uncommon favor. I didn't know it back then. I thought it was just favor. But as I've grown and learned and really given myself time to process it, I realized it was uncommon. And I kind of knew it was uncommon, but I really just attributed to favor. But and I've told this story before, and I'm not going to go into all the details, but essentially what I'm trying to say is, when I bought my home, I didn't have the money to buy my home. I didn't. I bought my house, and I didn't even want to buy this house. Like, I wouldn't even see this house, but God just kept making a way for this realtor to bring me to this house. Like, I literally was like, this is not in my price range. Like, this poor woman was trying to show me this house numerous times. I was not willing to entertain it in the slightest, because I was like, this house is out of my price range. I had worked really hard to fix my credit, get my little FHA down payment together. I was like, I got this amount from the bank, and I'm going with this amount only, because I am not buying a house that is so expensive that I'm going to have to eat ramen and SpaghettiOs in order to make it. I like to buy shoes. I want to be able to live. And that's literally the philosophy that I had when I bought my first home. I mean, I'm totally keeping it a buck. And so I wasn't willing. But then one night, I finally acquiesced. I did. I acquiesced. We were in this subdivision too, where I live. And we were looking at somebody else, and she was like, come on, I just really want to show you this house. I'm telling you, she kept pushing. I'm not going to lie. I came to this subdivision, if I think about it, 4 times before I would let this woman let me see this house, take me to see this house. So I let her take me. And the moment that I walked through the door, I fell in love. It was everything that I wanted and then some. Everything I wanted and then some. So beautiful. I walked through it, fell in love. And I was like, okay, girl, this is still above my price range. And she was like, I'm telling you, though, we're going to make this happen. I can make it happen for you. And literally, I went at midnight back to my old office back then. And because, that was a time of fax machines, we weren't signing things electronically, and literally was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put an offer. This is all I can afford in this offer. And this is all I got. And I'm not putting any more in. And I put a bid in for this house, and I got it. I got it so much that, and I would love to say that is how smooth that story went. It wasn't. Literally, we had so many little hiccups and craziness The loan was too much. I mean, everything, because the house was worth so much more than what I could afford as a first-time home buyer. But when I tell you uncommon favor, I tell you uncommon favor in the sense that I wound up getting this home, and the seller paid my closing cost, as well as both the realtors, mine and his, actually took less commission to make this work. And so I'm telling you, and that all happened like literally, it took a minute. Like there was always little snafus. And those of you who may be in the process of trying to buy a home or even thinking about buying a home, I can encourage you to say that I looked at so many houses before I got this house. I used to go all the time. Like I think I had put in 30 plus bids by the time I finally did it. But can I tell you, when it was right, when it was God, when I had surrendered and really put the plan in motion. And when I say the plan in motion, I literally wrote the vision down and made it plain and kept it on my refrigerator of the house that I wanted and the things that I wanted. And I would speak about it and pray about it every day. That's when uncommon favor came up. And God took hold. And so I tell you that story because I want you to understand that uncommon favor is real. It is so real because literally that day when I closed on my house, I was like an hour and a half late to closing because I got lost because I'm really like directionally challenged. And also I wound up being an hour and a half late. We got there. Everything was smooth. I got those keys and then I walked through this home and prayed from the front door all the way through every room and everything because this is my home. And God gave me this home because, like I said, it just was not anything else but God. And it was truly uncommon favor. And so, like I said, I'm telling you that to inspire you, but I'm telling you that to help you recognize when situations like that are occurring in your life. Because I know I'm not the only one. I know that some of y'all have experienced things and you're just like, ain't no way that this is anybody but God who brought it to me. You got to stand in those moments. You got to stand in that moment. You got to pray in that moment. You got to be grateful in that moment. You have to recognize the blessing that has been bestowed upon you, and you have to own it. You got to own it because you forever want that feeling to come over you. You don't want to forget that favor. And from that moment on, I stopped being comfortable in my favor. And let me say that again. From that moment on, I stopped being uncomfortable in my favor. I started recognizing a lot more frequently what favor looks like, what favor feels like. And I started to make sure that I constantly keep an energy about me. I keep a prayer about me. I keep a gratitude about me to keep favor continuously manifesting in my life. And let me tell you, it doesn't mean that every day is great. Every day is not great. There are always going to be struggles. There are always going to be things that happen because life is going to life. But that still does not mean that we should become so oblivious to the favor that we have been given from God and that God is doing in our lives, that we don't give thanks for it every day, that we don't cultivate that energy every day. We have to have that spirit of gratitude because the more gratitude that you put out, the more gratitude gets poured in. The more that you recognize that you deserve the favor comes to you. Because a lot of times that's really what the issue is. It's not that you don't deserve the favor. It's not that the favor has missed you. It's that you are just too oblivious to the fact that you deserve it. So you're missing it because God so loved you that he gave his only begotten child to the world. So if you think if he gave his only begotten child, his only son to the world to die for our sins, who makes you think all of a sudden that you don't deserve favor? Remember, God gave Jesus so that we would all have a clean slate. You deserve the favor that you have been given. It's just that sometimes we allow the world to come into our spirit to make us forget what we deserve, to make us kind of dull down so that you just get so comfortable working, so that you just get so comfortable having to hustle that you let the hustle become what you think is favor. And that's not favor. The hustle is the energy, and God gives you the energy to keep pushing. And if God's giving you that energy to give pushing, then he's giving you that energy to create that more favor. So you have to decide that this is your season of favor. And like I said, when I had that moment of uncommon favor happen to me, I never have forgotten it. It is one thing that I talk about, that I value, that I trust, I protect with everything I have, because I know how powerful God is. I have seen it in those situations when I have nothing. Because when I tell y'all I didn't have it, I didn't have it to get it. But I got it, and God made a way. And let me tell you, when it all lines up, it was boom, 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 boom. And when that happens in your life, those moments where everything is boom, 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 boom. And we all know what boom, 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 boom means. I mean, essentially, it's all ordered steps. Your steps are ordered. Everything is moving in the direction that it is supposed to be moving. You've got to recognize that. You've got to own it, and you've got to recognize that you deserve it, and you deserve so much more. So when you hold on to that, when you remember who you are in him and in this world, you cultivate more favor. It's like the law of attraction magnified times 1,000, because you recognize that you are worthy of it. And that's the thing that we have to get to the point of. We have to recognize that we are worthy of uncommon favor. And we have to always, like I said, have that spirit of gratitude, that spirit of openness, that spirit of believing that you deserve this and then some, so that gratitude, that uncommon favor will continue to surround you in your life. And like I said, it doesn't mean that you are not going to be protected from the world. The world is still going to whirl. Things are still going to happen, but you have now recognized that the favor outweighs the challenges. And so you lean into the favor, knowing that there is nothing that you will face that you can't walk through. It may not feel like you can't walk through. It may feel sometimes like a brick is on your back and you are weighed down by it. Believe me, I've felt that many a times. And I manage through it now as much as I humanly can, but I focus not necessarily on the season, because I remember all things are temporary. And I focus on the fact that I deserve to get to the end game, that I deserve the favor that is being given to me. So I'm telling you all this because I want you to have that season of recognizing that you deserve uncommon favor. I want you to take a moment to look at where you are right now, especially as we begin the second quarter of the year. And we're doing great things. Like, the first quarter went by like a breeze, and look at what we are able to accomplish. So imagine what you're going to do in the second, third, and fourth quarter. I want you to recognize that you deserve uncommon favor, and that you are receiving favor, and you are manifesting uncommon favor in your life right now. And you may not recognize it. So I want you to take a stop, take a breath, sit down, think about the things that are going on, and lean into it, because I want you to have more of that in your life as you are moving through this year. And like I said, I feel like right now I'm in a season of uncommon favor. And when I say that I feel like I'm in a season of uncommon favor, I really am truly 100% relating it to my passion project that I'll be launching, my baby, the reset experience. Because like I said, we were supposed to have this event on April the 20th, but I pulled back because I said I have more to give. I hadn't fully flushed it all out the way I think it needed to be flushed. Like, God was leaning into me that I needed to recraft this before I put it out in the world. And let me tell you, pulling it back has only manifested even more greatness. Realigning my focus is manifesting just beautiful fruit. Like, I am so excited about being able to come forward on August the 24th, which is the new date of the event. And the women and the process and everything is aligning. When I tell you it's aligning. Like, we haven't missed a beat. Like, I am so excited about what we're going to be able to do. And I feel like it is uncommon favor, because God is not creating not one moment where it's not coming together. Like, God is like, I'm putting all this together because I told you had more to give. So let me make room for you to have more to give. And so again, I'm sharing that with you because, one, of course, I'm excited about the reset coming to life, but I'm sharing that with you to recognize that even in situations where you have the best laid plan and you feel like it's good, but it could be better, and you lean into that pull and that call on your life where God is like, I think you could do it a little bit more. Lean in, trust it, that you can make changes, that you can pivot and still receive uncommon favor. And that his favor will be magnified because you are leaning and trusting in to what he has for you. You have to lean and trust in. We can't worry about what we think. We have to worry about what God is telling us to do. We have to worry about the favor that is on us. We have to recognize that we are blessed. So who are we to put doubt into that? Who are we to question what God's plan for us? If God is saying, hey, you need a little bit more time because I have more that you need to pull, then you need to lean into what he has for you to pull. And don't get me wrong, it's scary out sometimes in these streets. But then at the same time, I'm like, what am I scared about? Because if it wasn't for me, everything wouldn't be manifesting the way that it is. If it wasn't for me, we wouldn't have missed the beat the way that we've been doing. Like there has like literally been just such a beautiful season about how things are moving with us retooling, reimagining the reset. So I'm just so excited. I cannot wait to share this reimagined vision with you. I cannot wait for everything to come forth in August. But again, like I said, I'm having this conversation about uncommon favor because it's time for us to stand in who we are. It is time for us to recognize that we deserve and are deserving of the favor that is being bestowed on our lives. And when we are in these seasons of our lives where things are coming together, where we are being blessed in so many ways, we have to acknowledge it. We have to give the credit where it belongs. We have to cultivate that energy and space for more favor to come forth, because that is our rent for being here. That's what we owe to that. We have to acknowledge it because you want to constantly create that energy around you. So I'm challenging you, just like I'm challenging myself, to sit in this moment and recognize how good God is, to recognize the favor that is on you, to not be distracted by lottie-dottie and everybody. You don't need to worry about any of that. You need to be focused. When people ask you how it's going, you know what? I'm good. I'm blessed and favored. I'm focused. If you see the end goal and you know what you're trying to produce, stand in the fact that you are producing that end goal. Don't let anyone make you feel for a second that that is not possible, because all things are possible with God. So we have to recognize that, yes, we deserve this. We deserve it. Who are you to question what the blessings that are bestowed upon you? And who are you to let somebody else deter your mindset, deter your energy from what is for you? Stand in what is for you. Stand in it. Own it, because there's so much more to come. And like I said, just having Coach Staley talk about her favor, just to align it with exactly what she was laser focused on, exactly how all this came to pass, because she trusted. And so I want you to trust. I want you to trust yourself. I want you to trust God. I want you to lean in, because this is our season of uncommon favor, y'all. And all the empowerment, all the encouragement, all the focus, the tips, we can do all of that. But we all have to remember where it comes from, because this energy, you didn't cultivate it on your own. You didn't. I know I didn't. And so I give the credit where the credit is due. And so I wanted to make sure, like I said, that I took some time to talk about it. I know this may sound a little preachy today, but it is definitely something that is rooted in my spirit, and I wanted to share it with you. And I'm so excited because I know that God is blessing each and every one of y'all. And I am so excited to see what is going to produce in your life, the beautiful fruit that you are cultivating, the inspiration that you are creating. Because like I said, you don't know who is inspired by you every day, just the fact of who you are. So stand in who you are, stand in the blessing, stand in the favor that you deserve, because this is your season and your time. And don't let anyone or anything distract you, because you are truly worthy. So that is the episode this week. I know it's a little bit shorter, but like I said, I wanted to come before you guys and talk about it. I definitely feel, again, like I said, this is a season of uncommon favor. So I want us to be inspired. I want us to recognize who we are in God and recognize the favor that's on our life and continue to manifest it. So I hope this gave you a little push, a little inspiration to remember who you are. Dust your shoulders off, honey. You are a child of God. You are God's daughter, and He is most pleased with you. And He is continuing continuously surrounding you with blessings and favors all the days of your life. So I look forward to hearing some of the things that you're doing. I can't wait, like I said, to share more about the reset. More things are coming. I really, like I said, always appreciate the love and the support that I receive from you guys. I'm very grateful for this community, and I truly love and appreciate you all. I hope that you will have an amazing Sunday, and next week is amazing too. On top of that, I'm going to leave all my info in the show notes. Like I said, reset information is coming soon, so please look out for it. I can't wait to share it with you. Please take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll talk soon. Bye.